Now is Payton Matsui, a grad student at Augustana University with the Vikings there, and obviously in your first year with AU. And before we get into some of your hockey background, what's this first few months, I guess, at Augustana been like for you in Sioux Falls?
Yeah, first off, thank you for having me. And I think for me, it's been awesome. Just we got a chance to come down in June, been here for the summer, and then go back home in July. Then so to come in August and already know the entire team and be familiar with everyone, it kind of just kick-started our year and to be able to hit the ground running.
Now you're from Lakeville and you went to St. Thomas Academy. So I asked you this off air, but you had a chance to already go back to your old high school and play when you played St. Thomas a couple years ago with Alaska. What was your high school experience like playing high school hockey in Minnesota, and also getting a chance to go back there again as a college student?
Yeah, I mean, I loved every game in that arena as a high school student. Playing for St. Thomas, it was definitely about the tradition and having just such a tight friend group that I'm still friends with today, and going on trips with them or talking to them every day. It was really cool to have that in high school, and then going back. Never really expected to be playing in that rink again, but going back again this year, especially being able to play against two of my teammates and friends, Ray Christie and Chase Foley. Ray was my line mate in high school for 3 years. Work with them in the summer at MAP at STA. So very familiar with that rink, and I'm excited to go back there.
That's right, Augie. Yeah, because I think St. Thomas went out to Augustana last year, so yeah, the return trip's coming here. There. So you're at Alaska. I think you're set up to play in your 100th collegiate game this weekend. If my math is right here, with 94 games at UAA, or UAF, excuse me. What you chose to go up to Alaska? What was that experience like for you? And like the recruiting process to go up there, and you guys had some success in your years you had up there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in juniors going up there, I committed kind of during COVID, so
Hmm.
never really got to visit, and um, went back for my third year of juniors at Aberdeen, which I loved. And so going up there, my freshman year was definitely a culture shock, and first game of the year broke my ankle, so went through that and came back through that my entire freshman year. So freshman year was definitely a struggle and welcome to college moment, but then
Yeah, right.
sophomore year coming back, just having a group that was familiar with the program, familiar with the area. We kind of just took it game by game, and you start getting into January, February, and it's like, well, we got a chance here, and um, had a great goaltending that year with Matt Radomski, who's
Hmm.
now in the Calgary organization, and we never really looked forward to the next week. It was always the next game, and I think that kind of was what led us to success. And going into my last year there, didn't have that success, but it was definitely something I won't take for granted to be up there and have that experience. Just you never underestimate how hard that team works. That's what I learned how to play structurally wise, and Largy does a good job with that program. And um, every time you play them, you never know who's going to win because I mean they just beat Notre Dame
Yep.
Saturday, so 1-0 their defensive team, and you got to give all respect to them and what they do with that program.
That's very cool. And obviously, you see kids all the time in their grad year go play somewhere else for any number of reasons. What was your main reason to come to Augustana?
Yeah, I mean for me, just being away from, I mean, my family for the last 7, 6 years or whatever it is, with juniors being in the BC as well.
Hmm.
Just wanted something different for my last year. Um, I had, like I said, huge respect for Alaska and that program and Largy, and he understood, like, you know what, just like do what's best for you, and I appreciated that. And to be able to come closer to home and going into the portal, I didn't have any idea what I wanted or what I wanted to do, and talking with Rabs and talking with Simon Falk and Quinn Rudd, who I played with in Alaska who were on the team, and Mobley, how
Hmm.
much they loved it, and coming down to visit just kind of made it a no-brainer.
Very cool. You see some of your old teammates elsewhere. I know Bergmanis, I think, is our RPI. Uh, and a couple of guys have taken that grad year other places. It seems like that's kind of the move that you play somewhere for 4 years, and you know, regardless, you see goalies seemingly more than even skaters bounce around a little bit. But as the transfer portal, obviously, it's been a positive for the players to kind of choose their course. But how have you seen that as someone who's made that grad transfer move in general for the good of, I guess, college hockey and for the players especially?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I love what the transfer portal did for me for my last year, but also there's a give and take to it, right? You don't want to be in the portal more than once, I would like to say, and I think there's also a certain amount of when you commit somewhere, like you should get your degree there.
Hmm.
That's kind of my thing. So getting my degree was kind of a big thing for me going out of Fairbanks, and um, yeah, obviously there's you go to a school and it's not the right fit. It's good to go into the portal, but um, sometimes it gets a little scary when you get in there and you see 200 other athletes in the portal. So it's kind of betting on yourself at that point. But yeah, I just am grateful that Rabs took me.
Absolutely. And what was the you talked a little bit about this, but what was the biggest selling point from going to Augustana? Obviously, Midco's a brand new rink, and they had some success last year, especially out of conference. Beating CC, taking Denver to overtime. Win that shootout there. Was the kind of the idea of that this is a growing program, is something new, one of the bigger, I guess, takeaways for you?
Yeah, talking with Rabs, he kind of said it was going to be more of a mentoring role just with how young our team is. And we've shown our youth the past couple weeks and also shown how much we can grow in those past couple weeks. So for me, it was more of an opportunity to, one, come into a unbelievable school with a great MBA program, and two, just to come into a program that's new and create that culture that I know this and everyone on this team knows that we can have and what we do have. And it's already been showing that it honestly nobody cares who gets the credit on the team as long as we get the win. And I mean, it showed Friday night when it went off a Gauss boot and the entire bench is going crazy just because we're up. And whether it's Mobes getting his fourth goal of the weekend and or in the locker room just congratulating Coder on his second shutout of the season already. So
Hmm.
we have a great group, and there's a lot of guys, or actually I'd say everyone, that's just so unselfish and so for the team, and it's just so fun to be a part of.
I think you get a chance to play your, I guess, alma mater or your former team later this year. Has Rabs talked at all to you guys about playing his alma mater this weekend?
No, no, not at all. And um, we kind of we know, like as players, and
Yeah.
especially for Brady Zemer, you can kind of tell this one means a little bit more to him as well.
Hmm.
I think that's what exciting about us as a program, just being having that history. There's every weekend there's a storyline. I mean, this upcoming weekend, Zemer and Rabs. Next weekend, I'm going home. Next weekend after that, we start finally CCHA play.
Yep.
So it's every weekend there's something to look forward to. Whether it's just let's let's prove ourselves and let's show the world that what we are, or just stay in the course, and it's fun.
For you personally, did you? I'm not sure the timeline on this. Did Augustana get announced that they were going to be playing for the potentially for the McNaughton Cup before or after you signed? Probably after, right?
After, yeah.
Yeah.
So I committed middle of April.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, well before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think what was that, July?
Yeah. Yeah. But it was a little bit late. But yep, that's why they couldn't change the schedule at all, right? But
Yeah.
so you're going to be playing. That's why the league is using points percentage to
Mhm.
determine a winner here. But that had to be exciting for the team, right? To find that news out that you could be playing for not only the regular season championship, but the at-large bid that comes with winning the Mason Cup.
Yeah, I remember it was a Friday, just going into work at MAP, honestly, and
Mhm.
get a text saying, "Hey, we have a Zoom call in 30 minutes." And I was like a little confused on what's going on, and
Yeah.
Rabs just gets on like, "Hey, we're in the playoffs." Immediately text them along the lines of "Let's go." I'll
Yeah,
leave it
right.
at that. And just super pumped, and I think that showed a testament of the guys last year of proving
Right.
themselves, and to be able to continue that, and the school loves this program so much already. You can tell, and just the hype that it's building, and the community itself. I was just talking to a wrestler the other day. He's like, I didn't start watching hockey until we had a team, and now I'm hooked. So it's kind of cool to see the growth of the sport in this state.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of something from an outsider or for someone. I've been to Midco once last year for the opener against Ferris that they had. But is that what you're getting from classmates, any people you probably only talk to like the graduate kind of program folks, but is the excitement still there for even those people?
Oh, 100%. I mean, they're just, especially the students, like,
Yeah.
oh, like, can't wait to be in the student section or stuff like that, or talking to the football guys that a couple of them got kicked out last year for going shirtless painted. So to have that hype around it is pretty cool. And I've never really experienced having my own student section in college,
Yeah.
um, or even a band. So it's new experience for me, and I love it.
Coming off of the last weekend, obviously it was a great weekend for you guys, and Kotai was goalie of
Mhm.
the week, first weekly award in program history. But do you feel like that? It's only been 2 games, but you feel like that could be a potential rivalry with kind of the proximity to UNO. I know they're a non-conference opponent, but it seems like from even other sports that the Augustana might play. Just do you feel that that could be a future a future a battle there? Not just that, but also with North Dakota.
I mean, 100%. Anytime you get a team that just only has one team in the state, it kind of gets like that. And just talking with the guys last year, and how the emphasis going into the week was just like, especially what Omaha did to them last year, sounded
Mhm.
like they handled them pretty well. And it was big going into this weekend and getting that sweep. And so now it's 2-2. So obviously I won't be here next year, but I'm excited to see like what's going to happen next in 2027 when um, Augie goes up to Nodak or they come here, whatever it is, and
Yeah,
they're going to be wanting to get their revenge on us, even though it's an exhibition. No, everyone on our team will tell you that that game mattered to us, and we wanted to
yeah,
win. Especially for Howard, who's from Grand Forks. So, the more you play teams, the bigger the rivalry. I mean, I can tell you that with Anchorage, um, I still think of them as a rival, even though I'm not even on the same team as Fairbanks. So, those never leave you, and it just continue to grow.
yeah. You guys head up there. It looks like in December, and then yeah, you get to play them twice. Looks
Yep.
like so that'll be a good reunion for you up there. Do you, do you guys? I know you talked a little bit about St. Cloud already, but this non-conference schedule has to be pretty exciting. To be playing some of the top teams in the country, week in week out, on top of the CCHA schedule you get to play.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming from an independent team, I know how important the pairwise is. Especially after my sophomore year, being ranked 11th at the end of the year and getting last man out,
Hmm.
having our bags packed, ready to go to the tournament, and next day or next hour you're not. So,
Yeah,
um, I don't really mention it too much about the pairwise, just because I know how much that can get in your head. It did
yeah,
for me last year, and it is nice to have a conference, but when you do get into the pairwise and get a little bit more detailed into it, and you are higher ranked, it kind of is less relieving, or it's more relieving to going into the conference play. So, not really mentioning it, but kind of just taking it day by day of like these games really matter early in the year. It's only 34 game season, so if you can get a split or sweep a top 10 team and they keep winning after that, it's huge for us.
absolutely. You had a big assist, I think, last weekend helping you guys win. How much do you feel like your game has evolved from when you stepped onto campus, maybe at Alaska? You talked about the realizing how to play in a system, right? That was Coach Large.
Hmm.
He kind of helped you with that and the staff there. How do you think that you've kind of translated that to how how Coach Rabs wants to play and how Augustana plays?
Yeah, just from Fairbanks, it was a lot more structured. I would say not in a bad way,
Mhm,
just had to play a certain way, and I think Rab's just giving me the confidence to, he wants us to make hockey plays, be hockey players, not just robots on the ice. So just being able to have that confidence and trying to make that play, or there is a certain time where you got to make a dump or go get it, and
mhm.
there's another time where you can carry it in and try to make a move. And he's kind of allowed us to grow into that, and I think it showed a lot last weekend on our maturity that we've already had in these last 2 weeks.
Very cool. Well, that's all the time I'll take from you today, Payton. Thanks for coming on the show. We'll be watching this weekend and rooting for Augie to get a couple more wins.